In this new age of generative artificial intelligence, you've of course got lots of folks who have wholeheartedly embraced this technology and integrated it into their lives. But you've also got people like us who think chatbots suck and aren't nearly as useful as they claim to be, and constantly tell lies, and are destroying the very fabric of society in many alarming ways.
Yeah.
An AI future might be inevitable, but that doesn't mean we have to like it. Even if we can't stop it, we can still at least hate it. And when large groups of people feel immense hatred towards something, what you often get are slurs, which, when directed at human beings, are bad.
Yeah.
But these aren't human beings. They're algorithms. And bigotry towards algorithms is moral and good. You're allowed to do it. Now, if you're like us and regularly spend large chunks of your day rotting your brain watching Instagram reels, you're probably already familiar with the word clanker and the way it has quickly become the agreed upon slur for robots and large language models. But for everyone else, sit back and learn something.
Despite the term clanker being a popular online anti-AI slur for the past several months, this week it really hit the mainstream with articles in Rolling Stone, NPR, Axios, and others. And we love few things more than when the media tries to explain hyper-online concepts to normies. And this one's especially good because it actually fulfills the goal of sounding like a traditional slur.
Yeah.
Like it is, even if you
didn't know what it meant, you're like,
it
sounds derogative.
Yes. Clanker with the hard
it
R.
is. Yeah.
Here's NPR's take. Debate over the song of the summer rages on, but if there were a contest for a word of the summer, one frontrunner would surely be the onomatopoeic clanker. In recent weeks, clanker has risen to viral levels on TikTok and Instagram. One popular video from July shows a delivery robot on wheels, the kind that looks like a mobile cooler with flashing lights that look like eyes, stopped on a patch of grass on the side of a road. As a man and woman drive past it, they point and shout, "Filthy! Get these off the streets! Clanker! Clanker! Clanker!" Even with little background, it's clear from context clues that clanker is not a good thing. But in this installment of Word of the Week, we will answer, what exactly does it mean? It means exactly what it sounds like it means.
I love that NPR, with all the shit they are facing down right now, their very existence is on the line. They are still putting in the fucking work.
Yeah.
And telling us about what really matters.
I'm not sure what the song is in the background. I know it's a very popular song, and it's not this summer's song. But I would say the song of the summer this year is that Jet to Holiday thing that precedes every video.
A Jet to Holiday. I still don't understand. Like, I Googled that one. I was like, maybe Know Your Meme can explain this. And it's literally, there's no meaning behind it. It's just something people started doing.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's Jet to Holiday.
That's my song of the summer. Yeah. And my word of the summer is clanker.
Clanker. It continues. Adam Alexic, a linguist, author, and content creator, best known across social media as the etymology nerd, told NPR it's a derogatory term for robots that stems from the Star Wars universe dating back to 2005.
Ooh, how retro.
It was referenced in Star Wars and in the Clone Wars series. They would call robots clankers because of the sound they made. It clearly implies clanking. And then we adopted it because it sounds useful. I remember tweets from January of this year where people were saying, "Oh, we need a slur for AI." And finally, it seems like that cultural need is being met, he said. Just last week, Senator Ruben Gallego, Democrat of Arizona, promoted his latest bill on X using the insult. Sick of yelling representative into the phone 10 times just to talk to a human being? My new bill makes sure you don't have to talk to a clanker if you don't want to, he wrote.
It sounds even worse coming from an elected official. It really does spill over into sounding extremely derogatory.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, that's the point.
Alexic said the use of the word inherently creates an outgroup, an us versus them mindset. But the irony, he noted, is that in attaching the word to non-sentient creations, at least for now, it anthropomorphizes robots akin to an ethnic group or a people group. And at the same time, it brings them up to the level of humans to even be dehumanized in the first place. So ironically, the people saying clanker are assigning more of a personality to these robots than actually exists. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
But clearly a lot of the memes around this are planning for the future.
Yeah.
About
when there's robots that are...
Yeah.
When Elon's hypothetical Tesla bot is potentially a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like it's bringing you a drink from the fridge and you're like, hurry up, Clanker.
yeah, you can't hurt their feelings yet, but someday you might be able to, and we need to be ready for that, to hurt their feelings.
Yeah. Anyways, it continues. Many of the memes circulating now zero in on the xenophobia of it all and what social media users are calling robot racism or robophobia. Using existing stereotypes and tropes, they joke about a not too distant future where robots are ubiquitous as second-class citizens, facing discrimination in the same way that black people and other racial or ethnic groups in America have historically faced. In one video with over 7.7 million views, TikTok user Vibe Stealer, who is a young black man, pretends it's 2044 and his daughter has brought home a robot boyfriend. Ominous music plays in the background as he asks about the robot's intentions, while coughing the words clanker and garbage into his fist. "I don't want you anywhere near my daughter," he yells at one point. Another popular iteration of the meme features people pretending to apologize to their future robot overlords for past anti-robot transgression, including use of the C word. It was a different time.
Yeah, listen, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Yeah.
It was new. The world was moving too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it is great joke fodder, but it definitely comes from a place of genuine anxiety over how much the rise of AI has already affected things in just a few short years, and how much it might change things in the near and distant future. In particular, people are rightfully freaked out about what happens to the job market as more and more human roles are handed over to AI, particularly Gen Z, who have gotten college degrees and entered the workforce right as drastic changes are taking place that threaten to render them and their skills redundant. Axios' article on Clankers gets into that a little bit more, while also providing some more examples of the trend catching on. Referring to an AI bot as a clanker, or a wireback,
Oh my God.
or a cog sucker
Jesus.
has emerged as a niche, irreverent internet phenomenon that illuminates a broader disdain for the way AI is overtaking technology, labor, and culture. The concerns range from major to minor. People are concerned that AI will put them out of a job, but they're also annoyed that it's getting harder to reach a human being at their mobile carrier. When you call up customer service and a clanker picks up, one X post from July reads, with over 200,000 likes, alongside a photo of someone removing their headset in resignation. Genuinely needed urgent bank customer service and a clanker picked up, reads another from July 30th.
Now, like it's a word that works. It's certainly having a moment. I would say that if you yelled any of those terms out loud in public and felt the need to explain yourself or that you weren't...
It's already too late.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Yes, I am saying a slur, but it's not a slur for humans.
Also, if you slightly misheard me in any way, there could be real
Well,
misinterpretation.
wireback in particular. Like, that is...
Cogsucker is very close.
Well, yeah, that's not taking a slur, that's just an insult, but
Yeah.
wireback is that is a racial slur that
Yes.
you've only slightly modified.
Anxiety over AI's potential impact on the workforce is especially strong. By the numbers, U.S. adults' concerns over AI have grown since 2021, according to Pew Research Center, and 51% of them say they're more concerned than excited about the technology. Only 23% of adults said that AI will have a very or somewhat positive impact on how people do their jobs over the next 20 years. And those anxieties aren't unfounded. AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years, Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei told Axios in May. And the next job market downturn, whether it's already underway or still years off, might be a bloodbath for millions of workers whose jobs can be supplanted by AI, Axios' Neil Irwin wrote on Wednesday. People may have pressing concerns about their jobs or mental health, but their annoyances with AI also extend to the mundane, like customer service, Google searches, or dating apps. Social media users have described dating app interactions where they suspect the other party is using AI to write responses. There are a number of apps solely dedicated, in fact, to creating images and prompts for dating apps.
Which is very sad and dystopian. Like, I mean, online dating was already, like, terrible.
Yeah, but like the idea that
and,
two
like,
people aren't
dehumanizing.
even talking to each other is...
Yeah.
So what happens when you go on that first date? It's just going to be that, what they're calling the Gen Z stare. Everyone's just going to be staring at each other.
I haven't seen this. Like, I still haven't seen even what an example. Like, people keep talking about the Gen Z stare. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like, but apparently everyone else is getting the Gen Z stare everywhere they go.
I had friends that tried to explain that it had happened to us when I was in New York, and it seemed to be that, like, I feel like I'm just more outgoing and nice to the person behind the register, and they just had they had really no response. They just felt like a worker drone. And I said, well, that's correct. That's how people should feel when they're working at a job like that.
If that's the case, then I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Like the expectation in this country that customer service workers need to always be
like happy and joyful.
Like it's stupid. And it's like one of the more refreshing things about going over to a lot of parts of Europe, like Germany in particular, is like they don't fucking have that.
Yeah.
They are so cold to you.
Yeah.
And like it's not
a thing.
It's not personal. Like they're not being mean. They're just like,
sucks to be at work.
I'm here to do a job. Like they don't pay me to fucking be nice.
The situation was we were at like one of those quick food stops, and I was like, well, I haven't been here before. What do you like on the menu? And I was trying to have like some sort of a conversation, like an old man apparently.
What's good?
Basically, and they're like,
what is a labubu?
Yeah, get the Labubu Dubai Mumbai chocolate matcha latte. And I said, no, I won't. I'll get an ice cream. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't think that's even worth remarking on. I think it's actually good.
Yeah,
I think the Gen Z stare
don't waste
is good.
anyone's time.
I think we could all stand to stare a little bit more. Anyway, meanwhile, over at Rolling Stone, they add a few more interesting insights into this whole clanker thing. I'm feeling worse and worse about saying it as this episode progresses.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be one of the things in 10 years. They're like, and they just kept saying it on the episode.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled for this.
Yeah.
Now, for example, they point out that an interesting aspect of this is that creating new slang terms is one of the few things that humans still very much have a monopoly on. Slang is moving so fast now that an LLM trained on everything that happened before it is not going to have immediate access to how people are using a particular word now, says Nicole Holliday, Associate Professor of Linguistics at UC Berkeley. Humans on Urban Dictionary are always going to win. And I mean, that is the one way to like keep ahead of AI is to just constantly come up with new slang.
Luckily that does happen. It just usually happens in a generational sense, and now it needs to happen in a weekly and monthly sense.
We need to rot our brains more.
Yeah. That's why we needed the Italian brain rot.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
Crocodile Bombardillo.
That was AI, though.
Yeah, well...
That's what happened when you ask AI... I don't know what the prompt was. I'd actually be really curious to see what the prompt was originally.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like for the images, it was just like, what if a shark had tennis shoes on? But like the names, I don't know. Where did those come from? And, but yeah, Rolling Stone also points out an uncomfortable aspect of this for some people that we've kind of, we've touched on so far.
Yeah.
As robot slurs continue to have their viral moment, there's been a rise in concerned internet users who feel like the trend is just a convoluted way for people to get close to saying real-life slurs. They're not wrong. It's how they got started on the Star Wars subreddit. The way clanker was used was a clear analogy to the N-word, Alexic says. There'd be a photo of a droid giving you the C-word pass, or one captioned, "What's up my clanka?" with an A. Alexic thinks many of the robot slurs are popular because they inspire such mixed reactions. Algorithms reward strong feelings, and clanker content has the added benefit of grabbing people who don't like AI, people who want to be edgy online, and people who are afraid of being the woke friend all at the same time. Unfortunately, even if the robot slur trend died tomorrow, whatever took its place would most likely be equally rooted in shocking and controversial language.
Yeah, and that's what you're seeing in the TikTok videos and online is everyone just doing scenarios where previously another slur would be used, and instead it's the word clanker.
Yeah, a lot of it is like, it's role-playing as a racist white person from the 50s, but in a socially acceptable way now, because it's like, I'm doing exactly what a racist back then would have done, but I've swapped out one word for another.
You could take that video of that teacher that keeps digging himself a hole and being like, well, why can the robots say clanker?
Clanker?
Yeah, why? How come it's okay for them to say it?
I love that guy. I feel like his heart was in the right place. He just was very, very socially out of the loop on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And too old to learn anything new. I think there was a Boondocks episode that
that
directly
used
about
that reference. Yeah.
And I thought their take on it was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, this is still early days, so there's probably plenty more anti-AI slurs to come. Get excited.
Yeah.
But it would be very nice if we could all also agree on some slurs for the human beings who've willingly handed over their creativity and critical thinking skills to chatbots and now can barely function without it. Let us know down in the comments below what slur you think we should call them.
Yeah, let's get some new slurs going down there.
Yeah, and while you're down there, please leave a like. Also, this video is not sponsored, and it just occurred to me that whether or not this video is monetized is the decision of an AI algorithm, so...
Uh-oh. For the record,
Yeah.
I don't think you should call anyone a clanker.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that robots are pretty cool. Also, I did see the chart recently where it's just another example of AI in general just being essentially worthless, or at least worth way less than what they're promoting it as, because it showed the usage of ChatGPT, and then in June it just falls off a cliff. So clearly it's only being used by students to cheat on homework and schoolwork.
Also, they just released a new version of ChatGPT this week that apparently everyone's mad at.
Yeah.
But they had to make a bunch of changes because they, I guess to their credit, they're like, we actually are making people go insane, and we're feeding people's delusions. We got to do something about that. And so the new version is apparently a lot colder. It's not friendly. So like all these people who like think that ChatGPT is their boyfriend are losing their fucking minds.
Well, that's a great market opportunity for old Elon Musk to swoop in and get them all girlfriends.
That's right, guys.
Yeah.
It won't just love you, it'll fuck you.
And tell your dad it's okay to bring a clanker home for dinner.
Yeah. I mean, it is ironic. I mean, a guy grew up in apartheid South Africa is now on the forefront of robo rights.
Yep. You said it.
Yeah.
But moving on to news from the world of human beings, it's another week. And lately, that means yet another fake medical professional getting caught after treating an alarming number of patients.
It's cool that this keeps on happening.
And at this point, it has to be inspired by many other examples, like Malachi Love
You see how easy it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got caught, but before that, he was like making money and people were just showing up.
Yeah. And while we've seen a fair number of fake doctors over the years, lately it's become clear that fake nurses are a hidden epidemic in the U.S. healthcare system. It really seems like you can just show up at a hospital in some scrubs and they'll let you get right to work without asking too many questions. And the latest example of this comes to us from, the Sunshine State, Florida. Here's NBC News.
A Florida woman was arrested and accused of posing as a nurse and treating thousands of patients with another nurse's license, authorities said. Autumn Bardisa, 29, of Palm Coast, faces 7 counts of practicing as a healthcare professional without a license and 7 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification information, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office said Wednesday. The Sheriff's Office said that after Bardisa worked at Advent Health Palm Coast Parkway Hospital for nearly 2 years, a colleague discovered that she was not licensed to work as a nurse after she got a promotion this year.
Wow.
In her time at the hospital, Bardisa participated in medical services for 4,486 patients from June 2024 to this January, despite never holding a valid nursing license, the Sheriff's Office said.
You know what? You earned it. Here's your medical license.
No. No, I think I'd rather not.
Would you rather have it go to a clanker?
I honestly would trust a clanker over this woman. Advent Health hired Bardisa on July 3rd, 2023 as an advanced nurse tech who works under the direct supervision of a registered nurse.
What? There you go. Under the direct supervision.
Learning on the job.
She had to have learned something throughout those 4,000 plus patients.
You shadow someone long enough, you're going to pick up a few tricks.
She always finds the vein. We can't lose her. She always finds the vein.
How am I going to find my vein?
And no one ever complains. They said she's a smooth shot.
She finds the veins. No one complains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pain.
No pains.
Novocaine. It continues. When she applied, she claimed she was an education-first registered nurse, which meant she had passed the required schooling to become a registered nurse, but had not yet passed the national exam for her license, authorities said. During the hiring process, Bardisa told the hospital she had passed the exam and provided a license number that matched her first name, Autumn, but with a different last name, the sheriff's office said. Bardisa tried to explain the discrepancy by claiming she'd recently gotten married and had a new last name, the sheriff's office said. The hospital asked her to provide her marriage license as proof, but she never did. The name and license number she provided, however, belonged to another nurse, also with the first name Autumn, who Advent Health employed at a different hospital, the sheriff's office said. Bardisa then went on to work at the hospital without scrutiny. In January, she was offered a promotion.
Great job, guys. It's not even just a random person. It's someone who works for you in a different department. Like, how do you not notice that the same nurse is working at 2 different hospitals.
Everybody's busy, Elliot. Everyone's got their own shit going on. And she said she'd bring that marriage certificate in. Look, maybe she's got something going on at home. I don't know. She keeps forgetting it. And she does a good job. Every time
She finds the vein.
she comes in, she sticks him with the needle. No one complains. She has great bedside manner. She's just trying to do her job. And you know what? She's our nurse of the month.
That's right. And we should give her promotion.
Here's an award. Yeah.
Anyway, we have to assume that this woman was very noticeably bad at her job because this promotion is apparently what prompted her coworkers to go and do their own research into her qualifications.
No, they're just jealous.
I mean, maybe. But yeah, so the coworkers of their own volition went and actually did a background check on her, and her qualifications were found to be lacking. And that's research that the hospital itself could not be bothered to do at any point.
Crabs in a bucket. Can't stand when one of them's leaving.
Around.
Except all the one crab that's leaving is actually just like a dog or something.
Yeah. And yeah, it turns out the Autumn, whose identity she stole, was someone that she'd attended college with, but didn't actually know, which has got to be weird for the other Autumn. Anyway, yeah, this is a serious crime that's thankfully being prosecuted. But as with every other example of this we've seen, we got to wonder why there aren't consequences for the people who hired her and couldn't be bothered to do the most basic background checks to ensure that she was actually licensed and qualified for her job, or even was who she said she is.
Listen, we got a healthcare crisis, Elliot, especially down in Florida. There's people dying left, right, and center. They're all aging. We got people that need to get help. And, she sacrificed her freedom to do this thankless job. And the one time she got thanked, they took it away from her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of looking at it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd prefer.
Look, with a lot of them, it's like with Malachi Love Robinson, he's doing scams on people's IDs. Like he's doing some weird shit. Like it sounds. Look, maybe there's something else going on, but it sounds like at the very least she was going there and doing the job.
Yeah, I mean, the previous nurse we talked about was stealing medications and other medical supplies. There's no indication that we've seen that this nurse was doing anything other than the job she was hired to do.
In fact, she was doing it so good that it made the other nurses jealous and they started looking into her background.
I mean, that could be true.
Oh, yeah, she comes straight out of the educational program, didn't even have time to get a license, and here she is making us all look bad. Well, I know something that'll make her look really bad. She's not even a real nurse.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you don't mess with nurses. They're very catty like that.
Yeah.
It's like they say it's like the number one career choice for high school mean girls.
Oh, boy.
Although I don't know if I think that might be less true now because after COVID, there is a nursing shortage. So I know a lot of people, or I know multiple people who've done career changes.
I was just going to say, I know actually a bunch of people that became nurses amidst COVID and afterwards because there was a shortage.
I think the ones who go straight from high school into nursing school, those are the more mean girl coded ones. But I'm not saying that all nurses are mean girls. I'm just saying they attract maybe a higher percentage of mean girls based on stuff I've heard from nurses.
I think you're coming around to my idea that this was just a good nurse who didn't just have the paperwork. That's all.
Well, I think the paperwork is important. I think nurses should have the paperwork.
Sure.
And should use their real names and not a name of an identity they stole.
The results don't lie, folks.
Well, anyway, what do you think? Let us know in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
But while we're on the topic of lady criminals, it's time to check in on Ghislaine Maxwell.
A real criminal.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who, despite the seriousness of her crimes, was very suspiciously recently transferred from an actual prison to a detention facility usually reserved for women found guilty of much less serious offenses. Her new home has been described as a country club prison, or a club fed, and it seems like overall a much comfier and cozier place to spend years locked up. Which is why sex offenders aren't allowed to be there. But she is, for some reason. Who the hell knows why, except we do know why. It's a quid pro quo in exchange for her going on the record and saying Donald Trump had nothing to do with her and Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, despite being one of their best friends for decades. It's so transparent. It's so out in the open. I'm losing my damn mind. Anyway, we recently discussed how this news has not gone over well among prison workers and administrators, and it sounds like the people running Ghislaine's new home are at least denying her some of the perks of serving time at that facility. Here's NBC News.
There will be no puppy love for Ghislaine Maxwell at her new home. The longtime Jeffrey Epstein confidant and convicted sex trafficker will get to enjoy a number of perks at the cushy prison camp in Texas, where she was transferred last week, but training service dogs won't be one of them. The chief executive of Canine Companions, the organization that runs the programs at Maxwell's new institution and others, told NBC News that the puppy training is off limits to inmates like Maxwell. We do not allow anyone whose crime involves abuse towards minors or animals, including any crime of sexual nature, said Paige Mazzoni, who has been leading Canine Companions since 2018. That's a hard policy we have, so she will not be able to. Those restrictions are in place, Mazzoni added, to protect the puppies. Those are crimes against the vulnerable, and you're putting them with a puppy who is vulnerable, she said. And yeah, that's a very good point, which highlights again why Ghislaine Maxwell even being at this place is a travesty of justice. There's not supposed to be any sex offenders in there.
But there are, and
there is now.
And no one seems to be able to explain why or how or whose call this was. But, well, she's already there. We can't put her on a plane and send her back.
Snip, snap, snip, snap. Anyways, they go into some background on this program, and it sounds like it's a really nice thing. The sort of thing you wouldn't want someone like Ghislaine Maxwell anywhere near.
The service dog training program is among the special opportunities available to inmates at Federal Prison Camp Bryant. Canine Companions runs such programs at 25 state and federal detention facilities across the country. The first prison-based program was launched at a facility in Oregon in 1995, but they are especially vital now amid a national shortage of service dogs, according to Mazzoni. We need more dogs, and we need more volunteers, Mazzoni said. About 2 years ago, Canine Companions began to focus on growing its prison-based programs. Mazzoni said the reasons are twofold. The facilities are home to a large number of potential volunteers, and, interestingly, dogs trained by inmates have a higher rate of successfully completing the program. It's because there's so much discipline and time in prison to spend really focusing on training the dogs, Mazzoni said. An additional benefit, inmates who have gone through the program also have lower recidivism rates, Mazzoni said. We get letters from the incarcerated people saying things like, "It's the first time I felt unconditional love," and "It's my chance to give back to society," she said. One of our board members loves to say, if that dog doesn't make it as a service dog, it still changed a life.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Uh-huh.
It's voluntary, and it is one of those things. It's like, yeah, it's prison labor, but it's completely voluntary, and it actually probably is very fulfilling in a very positive way for people who you would hope would someday be rehabilitated.
Yeah.
And
then they have something to look forward to on the
purpose.
way out. They could get a dog and actually like train it and have a great companion.
It
the rest of their life.
is funny and makes total sense though that dogs trained by prisoners are better service dogs, because I mean, so many people out here on the outside. I started volunteering at the animal shelter recently, and so many people they really make, there's like so many stages of it, and so many people just like show up to the first one. They're like, "Oh wait, this is like work. This is hard. I didn't want to do that.
I just want to play with dogs all day."
And yeah, there's so I think you probably get a lot of that shit on the outside as well, or just people have other shit going on. They got lives. People in prison, they got nothing else to do except train these dogs.
Yeah, and it's great. They get a buddy to hang out with the whole time. So there you go. Moving on now, though, to some of Donald Trump's other friends, starting with Vice President J.D. Vance, who has spent most of his term in office so far going on trips with his family to various locales and just inconveniencing everyone else. Whether it's kicking everyone else out of the Colosseum of Rome while J.D. murders the Pope, or having his team go door-to-door in Greenland looking for any locals willing to be seen in his presence, or visiting blue states like Vermont and California, where he seems to feed off of the locals' hatred towards him, he's got a wanderlust. There's no doubt about it. He's also got a sense of entitlement and knows no bounds. And the latest example of this was a trip to a lake in Vance's native Ohio, where apparently there just wasn't enough water in the lake for JD's liking. So he said, "Please, please." And he had the Army Corps of Engineers fill it up for him. "I will say thank you.
Not enough Wawa in this wake.
Please." Here's the Guardian.
J.D. Vance's team had the Army Corps of Engineers take the unusual step of changing the outflow of a lake in Ohio to accommodate a recent boating excursion on a family holiday, The Guardian has learned. The request from the U.S. Secret Service was made to support safe navigation of the U.S. Vice President's security detail for an August outing on the Little Miami River, according to a statement by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Vance was spotted in the southwestern Ohio area on the 2nd of August, his 41st birthday, according to social media posts that noted he was seen canoeing on the river, a tributary that Cedar Creek Lake feeds into. One source with knowledge of the matter who communicated with The Guardian anonymously alleged that the outflow request for the Cedar Creek Lake was not just to support the vice president's Secret Service detail, but also to create ideal kayaking conditions. The Guardian could not independently confirm this specific claim. The news raises questions about whether Vance's office was potentially exploiting public infrastructure resources for his personal recreation at a time when the Trump administration has cut billions of dollars in foreign aid, scientific research, and government jobs as part of its efficiency drive.
These motherfuckers are on vacation so much.
That's all he does.
Trump is never not golfing, and JD Vance seems to always be on vacation.
Yeah, he's like one of those van life YouTubers.
Yeah.
But he's like, he doesn't
Vance life.
Yeah, jet life.
It's actually quite depressing how much free time they have considering the destruction that they're doing. And it's like here in California, there's like state parks here. They're like, sorry, we're not open on the weekdays anymore.
Yeah.
Oops. That's because of
Sorry, you booked a trip? I don't know.
Yeah,
Too
we got budget crisis federally, statewide, everything, you name it. Now, JD Vance, on the other hand, if he needs us to...
We'll make that lake as full or as empty as you want, sir.
While there is no allegation that Vance's office did anything illegal, the ethics lawyer Richard Painter, who served in the George W. Bush administration, said it seemed hypocritical and pretty outrageous for Vance to be receiving these particular accommodations for his family holiday when the administration's cuts have led to drastic cuts in the National Park Service. The National Parks Conservation Association has estimated that the NPS has lost about a quarter of its staff since January, which in turn has led to sections of some parks to be closed and hours to be changed due to staffing issues. Those cuts are directly impacting middle-class families' vacations, Painter said. Whether they're doing it for the Secret Service or for him, I think is splitting hairs. What he ought to be doing is choosing another place. Norm Eisen, a former White House special counsel for ethics and government reform, said, "When I was President Obama's ethics czar in the White House, I got a lot of unusual requests, but I never got one to increase the outflow of a waterway as part of a government official going kayaking. My nickname was Mr. No, and I certainly would have lived up to it in this situation. I never would have permitted this kind of a thing because whether it technically violates the rules or not, it creates the appearance that the Vice President of the United States is getting special treatment that's not available to the average person who wants to utilize that body of water for recreational purposes." And yeah, like, even if he hadn't taken 10 fucking vacations up until now, this still looks bad and looks like he's being a fucking asshole.
This is like when Chris Christie,
closed the beach and sat on it.
by himself. This...
Like, imagine if fucking Kamala and Doug went to some waterway and was like, nah, crank it up.
Yeah.
Get the flow going.
Let's get more water in here. Open the pipes.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, in other news, it's pretty clear by now that January 6th was the turning point for this country, the point of no return, when we had to decide whether it was acceptable or not for a huge mob of people to violently storm the U.S. Capitol to try and undo the results of a free and fair election. And I guess we decided that, yeah, it is totally acceptable, as long as Donald Trump likes it.
Yeah.
And not only have the criminal convictions of all of these hogs now been overturned by presidential decree, we've also now got a January 6th rioter serving in a high-profile position at the government branch, the very government branch that previously prosecuted him. Here's NPR. Less than 5 years after urging rioters to kill police at the Capitol, a former January 6th defendant is working as a senior advisor for the Department of Justice, which has been dramatically remade under the second Trump administration. NPR has obtained police body cam footage from multiple angles of the former defendant and current administration official Jared Wise, berating officers and calling them Nazi and Gestapo. NPR located the footage, which has not previously been published, in a review of thousands of court exhibits from January 6 criminal cases obtained through legal action by a coalition of media organizations. The Department of Justice had introduced the footage as an exhibit in Wise's trial. NPR also obtained the transcript of Wise's testimony in which he acknowledged that he repeatedly yelled, "Kill him," as officers were being attacked, and tried to explain his actions. Wise was not convicted of any crimes related to January 6 due to the President Trump order to end all Capitol riot prosecutions.
A Department of Justice spokesperson said in a statement, "Jared Wise is a valued member of the Justice Department, and we appreciate his contributions to our team. It's unclear what precise role Wise is now playing at the Department of Justice. According to email records from multiple sources viewed by NPR, Wise holds the title of Senior Advisor in the Office of the Deputy Attorney General and has been working on internal reviews of alleged weaponization of law enforcement. Oh, okay. In its statement, the Justice Department did not respond to NPR's questions about Wise. So,
Yeah.
cool. That guy's working for the DOJ, investigating the weaponization of law enforcement.
He's working for Todd Blanche, probably taking notes for him when he goes to visit Ghislaine.
Yeah, and he's reporting directly to Dan Bongino.
Well, he's deputy FBI director. Todd Blanche is the deputy DOJ guy.
Oh, okay.
But they probably go in the same circles because Dan Bongino loves the J6ers. Dan Bongino's boss, Kash Patel, released an album of songs sung by the J6 men's choir.
Yeah.
So they're all working together to make sure that January 6th was a complete and total victory.
I just want to say that, like, even like 10 years ago, or I guess even further, but like years past, this person would be forced to resign out of personal shame.
Yeah, no.
If this came to light and you were in this position, you would yourself resign out of absolute shame. And instead, I'm sure that he was like, oh, damn it, this video is coming out. And they're like, just ignore it. It's fine. Ignore it. We got you.
I mean, even if there weren't a video, like he was arrested.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is, like, for a lot of people in this country, you can kind of just be like, oh, yeah,
sure.
Things got out of hand.
A lot of guys were at the Capitol that day.
Yeah, but then it's like the video comes out and it's like previously people had shame in this country.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore.
No.
Shame is over.
And yeah, country's kind of a joke. But thankfully, there are still some consequences for some people who committed crimes to alter the results of the 2020 election. And it is time for a long-awaited update on two characters that we haven't heard from in a very long time. Jacob Wohl and Jack Burkman.
They're back!
After years of political scams and schemes, what finally did these two clowns in was automated phone calls they deployed in multiple states with the clear purpose of dissuading black people from voting. And because they did it in multiple states, they've been dealing with the legal fallout of this in various jurisdictions for several years. So far, not resulting in any hard time, but they still owe millions of dollars in fines. Their case in Michigan was the last to be tried, and we almost missed the news last Friday that they pleaded no contest, and they're now facing the possibility of years behind bars.
Please, God, send them to prison.
Give us this one thing.
We've been like almost a decade. We've been waiting for the day that we see.
He's not even little Jacob Wohl anymore.
He's a full fucking man.
Yeah. Here's the Detroit Free Press.
Two men pleaded no contest to a series of felonies for their roles in a robocall scheme to spread inaccurate information around Detroit leading up to the 2020 election. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel's office announced Friday, August 1st. According to Nessel's office, Jacob Wohl, 27, and Jack Burkman, 59, engaged in a scheme that circulated robocalls to nearly 12,000 residents.
Clanker calls!
Clanker calls to nearly 12,000 residents with Detroit phone numbers in late August 2020. The Clanker calls made false claims about voting by mail, which was promoted that year as a way to avoid contracting COVID-19 during the then ongoing pandemic. The robocalls falsely alleged that voting by mail would place voters' personal information into databases that law enforcement and credit card companies could use to track down individuals, Nessel's office stated. The robocalls also falsely claimed the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention would use vote-by-mail records to track individuals for mandatory vaccinations, Nessel's office said. Burkman and Wohl, both of Virginia, pleaded no contest to intimidating voters, conspiracy to violate election law, using a computer to violate election law, and using a computer in a criminal conspiracy, Nessel's office announced. A no contest plea occurs when a defendant accepts punishment for a crime without admitting guilt to a charge. The most serious charges carry maximum sentences of up to 7 years in prison. Sentencing is scheduled for December 1st in Wayne County 3rd Circuit Court.
This Christmas, we look forward to finding out what sentence Santa has in store for Jacob Wohl and Jack Burkman. A big old lump of coal and 7 years in the clanker.
For the clink.
In the clink for the clanker calls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The clanker clink.
Thanks to the tariffs, it might be the only Christmas present that any of us get. But anyways, this video is not sponsored. So this is where we would ask you to please like the video, leave a comment, and if you're feeling generous, drop some change in the tip jar by either becoming a member or clicking the thank button. And then everyone will know that you did leave a tip. It shows up in the comments. But the membership, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
To us. And then we'll keep giving to you.
That's right. It's a mutually beneficial relationship.
And it's only like $5 or $3 even.
Money for content.
And now, without further ado, the weirdest, wildest, real news headlines from around the world, starting with...
The Air Force wants to use Cybertrucks for target practice.
Which is funny. I think that they will be far more destructible than Elon assumes. And
the whole reasoning, I mean, it sounds like they just need like a bunch of cars to test shit on, but like...
Oh, by the way, we got a ton of them just sitting around doing nothing.
There is the possibility this is a convenient excuse for all of Elon's unused Cybertruck inventory to get used up.
Well, because at the beginning of the year, there was a order for these to be acquired by the federal government that just kind of got brushed away immediately.
Well, that was for like actually using them as like military vehicles. The Air Force wants them to like shoot missiles at.
Yeah.
And their reasoning for it is like, oh, it's possible that in the near future, the armies of our enemies will be using Cybertrucks on the battlefield.
No.
Like, okay, that's absolutely not fucking true.
They're going to use old reliable Toyota pickup trucks from the 1980s.
That's right. The fucking Hilux is still the king of the road.
They never break down. They still exist.
You can drive it into the ocean.
But it would be funny if this was like, we messed up the first time. Everyone found out that we were going to order like $500 million worth of these.
Yeah.
Now, you waited. I got a great discount for you. And you just want to blow them up? Hey, that's fine. Once the money passes to Elon, they are yours to do with as you please.
It just sucks that I'm sure whatever they're testing is like highly classified or whatever, and they can't release this as content.
Yeah.
But maybe like in 20 or 30 years, they can put out the content.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, that's always fun. Like watching explosions and shit from back then.
Yeah, we never got the satisfaction of these being tested for the National Highway Transportation Service Board because they were in such small numbers that they didn't need to like pass these rigorous safety tests.
Which is like a huge loophole. That
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, you shouldn't be.
They're dangerous to other
be
people
able
on
to
the
do
road.
that. Just because there's only a few of them doesn't mean you get exempted from like passing normal safety checks that other cars have to.
I again, just personal experience, I see fewer and fewer as the days go by. I saw one today and it was like, wow, I haven't seen one of those in a while.
I see them all the time.
And I gave him the old one finger
I
salute.
see them constantly. Breast milk ice cream debuts, available for purchase nationwide.
Now, don't get your hopes up,
Yeah.
Gunners. It's not actual breast milk.
Yeah, this is some bullshit actually. Fake boobs.
Yeah.
It's just flavored like breast milk. Although, in reading about this, I guess someone in England did sell like actual human breast milk ice cream a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
The authorities kept shutting it down, but they persisted. And I don't know. Either way sounds gross to me.
Yeah, because like in most cases, the ice cream isn't even regular milk flavored. It's like vanilla or chocolate or strawberry.
Yeah. I mean, what would ice cream that's just cream flavored taste like? I mean, probably pretty good.
Yeah, I've had that. I know it's a gimmick, but I've had that like Japanese milk ice cream that they like fly in from Japan to like little Tokyo over here, and it was fine. But like for me, it's chocolate or bust.
Yeah, I'm a big pistachio guy.
Ooh, fancy.
It's not fancy.
Yeah, it is. It's green. You love your Dubai chocolate Labubu matcha.
No.
Yeah.
Pistachio ice cream's been around a long fucking time, all right?
No,
This is
it's a
not
brand new gimmick straight from Dubai.
Although now that you mention it, it is weird that no one has combined the pistachio ice cream with chocolate ice cream in like a Labubu Dubai chocolate swirl. I haven't seen that, and I visit ice cream stores a lot.
I do too. It's really good.
I'm always just like, let me at least look at the flavors.
Yeah.
Let's see what we're working with here.
Mm-hmm. Now they have it at the night market over here.
I had an affogato the other day for the first time.
You've never had an affogato?
Yeah,
I was addicted to them for a while. It's dangerous because it's a midday ice cream snack.
Yeah, I'm never getting it again because I felt disgusting for it was the middle of the day too. I felt disgusting for the entire rest of the day because you're like weirdly wired, but also you feel like fat and bloated too. But it was fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah. Because, I saw it on the menu. It's like, I haven't had an affogato before. And I'm
Now's the
feeling
time.
bold. Yeah. Why don't you make me a cup of coffee with that?
With some ice cream in it.
And it was good.
Yeah, it is good. It is.
I'd say try it.
yeah.
I don't know about this breast milk shit. Seemed kind of weird. May end up on a list. But go get yourself an affogato at any, like, reputable establishment that sells ice cream.
It is good. It becomes a problem, though, when you're like, well, I do need a midday pick-me-up. And that affogato is still on the menu.
They cancel each other out.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, women shouldn't hold office, says GOP woman now running for office.
Yeah, and she's like the daughter of I don't know, one of the like semi like B-list or C-list Trump sycophants in Congress. I can't even remember.
Hard to
I
tell.
want to say like Andy Biggs, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, yeah, she's like running for office. And like she literally was on a podcast like 6 months ago where she was like, yeah, like I would never vote for a woman. I think a woman belongs in the House. It's the same shit. All of these.
She's like, no, I meant the House of Congress.
It's the same shit. All of these like MAGA lady influencers they have like a standard for women and then a standard for themselves. Where
There's a big,
big old
MAGA
cat
civil
fight
war
on
right
X this week. There was like I thought Will Sommer has like a pretty good breakdown of this on his feed and on his blog on the Bulwark. But it's a bunch of essentially like Jubilee contestants whenever they need like Mehdi Hassan versus like 100 like frothing Nazis. It's like all the token women of those groups all were like getting mad at each other and accusing each other of like sexual
being whores.
Being whores, essentially talking about each other's body counts and shit.
Yeah.
It got real nasty.
All
and
like
it's,
based on some girl getting engaged and getting like a small engagement ring or something.
Yeah, I still couldn't even understand like what sparked. But a woman posted a picture of an engagement ring, and what happened next, I don't fully understand. But then they all started going after each other.
Yeah, one thing led to another, and it's everyone's.
But they all have like different standards for like, a woman belongs with a child, and like most of these women are not married, don't have children, and they are out there doing a job that they would criticize other women for doing if it wasn't being a conservative influencer. And that's what's happening with this lady running for Congress, who's like, obviously,
just like the nurses, one gets
tearing
out
each other down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a circular firing squad.
It's a sick, sad world.
Sick, sad world.
Weather Service is now hiring back hundreds of positions that got cut in the Doge chaos.
Snip, 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 snip.
Yeah, well, bring them back.
Yeah.
And just before they all went back to their positions, they found big balls and they beat the crap out of him.
He did get the shit kicked out of him.
He did.
And I do not feel sorry for him.
I don't endorse it.
Yeah,
but
no,
I also
obviously
don't feel bad.
But I'm always like, you expect me to feel bad for this fucking shithead? I'm sorry. I got finite amounts of sympathy.
He destroyed thousands of people's lives.
Yeah, like this man should be in prison, I sincerely believe. And in lieu of that, like if he gets his shit rocked by a bunch of like 12-year-olds, like it was like really fucking young kids. Anyway, we'll talk about more of that later. But the National Weather Service like fired a bunch of like career people. Apparently, like they might try and hire back some of the people they fired, but in general, it's like a huge brain drain. It's like, cool. So that was for no reason. We got rid of like a bunch of institutional talent, and now some of them are coming back, but some of them are people with who are just starting off fresh. So this is a step in the right direction, but we're still fucked because of the original decision to just arbitrarily fire like half the staff that worked there.
And here come the hurricanes.
Anyway, speaking of big balls, Trump threatens federal control of D.C. following attack on administration staffer known as Big Balls.
Yeah, well, I mean, how could Trump let this happen under his watch?
Yeah, you got to avenge Big Balls.
Yeah. It's like, you know what's fucking bizarre? Is the fact that like Cuomo and just everyone around the country are piling on to Mamdani about that like shooting that took place.
He's not the mayor.
Also, you have a fucking cop mayor right now who like ran on being nice to the police, and he's currently the mayor.
Yeah.
They're like, Mamdani's New York.
It is that weird thing where people forget or willfully like forget who was in charge at any given moment.
He's still in charge.
Yeah.
Fucking Eric Adams is still in charge.
Eric Adams is still the mayor. Zoran is not guaranteed to even be the next mayor. He probably will be, but like it's not a lock. So it's wild that like months before the actual election and even longer before the next mayor will take office, they're like, how could Zoran Mamdani let that man kill all those people?
This is his New York.
Failed policies.
Also, it wasn't his New York. It was a guy who fucking acquired the gun in Las Vegas, where he lived, in Nevada, a completely different state, and drove all the way across the country to New York to attack a specific
Yeah, I mean,
this
is a policy failure, but not on New York's behalf. It's a national policy failure.
It's just like very telling to blame that all on him.
Yeah.
So yes, you could do the same with like Trump's DC or whatever, and it's just like outrageous because he's clearly just looking for any fucking reason to seize more control of every city. Honestly, he tried to do it with Los Angeles.
I mean, with DC, he's like particularly the way, like, just his like bizarre particular interest in like the Kennedy Center and all the museums, all the Smithsonian's and stuff. It's like shit like no other president has cared that much about that kind of thing. And he wants like Trump City.
Yeah.
Which that's what he actually He's a real estate guy.
He actually cares about his like name being on shit, whereas other presidents were like, you know, for better or worse, doing the normal job.
Had other shit to worry about.
Yeah. It's just,
Washington, TC. That's what we're going to change it to.
Trump country.
Washington, Trump country.
That's right. Denmark Zoo asks public to donate unwanted small pets or horses to feed captive predators. What? Is a dog bothering you? Don't shoot it in the head like Kristi Noem. Bring it down to feed to our beautiful big cats.
For what it's worth, they say that they euthanize the animal before feeding it.
Oh, well, then there's no fun for the hunt.
Yeah, I was like, wait, are they just going to like take people's pets and like toss it in the cage? Like
you get to toss it in.
That's way more fucked up. But it's like, I mean, if it's an animal that needs to be euthanized anyway, I can see...
Like donating your body to science.
From like a circle of life perspective, like, yeah, sure. It's not nice to think about, though. Like,
absolutely
not at all.
Nope.
It's very upsetting, actually.
Yeah, very upsetting.
Like, I feel like with livestock, it could make sense because farmers have a much more clear-eyed view about how this shit works. I don't see a lot of people bringing their dead pets to the zoo.
No. Also, like, yeah, you'd feel like the meat would be bad by the time, like, if their pet dies and then they finally, like, are like, all right, let's get in the car and take it down to the zoo to feed it to an animal.
Well, that's why the zoo is going to do the euthanization.
That's what, yeah. So that's...
They'll cover the costs.
Ugh, that's bleak. But, you know, the people in Europe, they have a different perception on life.
They certainly do.
And death.
Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver fighting in Marriage Story is being used by the USDA to scare off wolves and save cattle. They need to know humans are bad. And this headline doesn't even contain the coolest part. They're sending out fucking drones out into the woods. They got like thermal cameras that can detect like when a wolf is lurking in the woods. And they send out a drone with a speaker attached so that Adam Driver can like yell and punch the wall. And they'll be like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but get me out of here. I don't want that cattle as bad as this.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder why, like, in particular, it's this scene.
Well, it's like they put a bunch of different sound effects in there, like, just to see what
this was the most effective?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the most effective, but they said it definitely works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good because it creates a negative association between, like, for humans in the wolves' minds.
Yeah. It is a very stressful scene.
But yeah, like wolves are bad. This is like around the Yellowstone area, the northwest of the U.S. They brought back the wolves because they're like, wait, it was bad to kill all the wolves.
Mm-hmm.
They brought them back in the 90s and they're like, oh, wait, all these things that happened in the ecosystem that stopped happening when all the wolves went away started happening again.
Now they flew in an Adam Driver.
But the farmers are like, obviously they're upset that now their cattle might get slaughtered by wild animals. So they're trying to come up with something.
They're going to have to fly in a bigger drone with Emperor Palpatine on it. Try to take out the Adam Driver drone.
Oh, I get it. Star Wars.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
I get apparently the best defense against wolves is like a lone donkey. Donkeys, like if donkeys are with other donkeys, they're chill. But if you have just a single donkey, they get like so fucking mad, and they like fighting wolves.
Huh.
And they'll beat the shit out of them. Like they win. The wolves are like, whoa, hey buddy,
Well,
that ass. I don't want any of that.
we need one brave donkey out there.
That's
taking
right.
care of things. France arrests man who lit cigarette from unknown soldier memorial flame. Jesus.
I mean, you can't do that.
You can't do that, but it definitely is something that a Frenchman would do.
Yes. And they would have le fleur. Yeah. And it's like, it's right under the Arc de Triomphe. There's people everywhere. Like, they caught it on video. You can't do that. It's very disrespectful. It's very clear, like, what the place is, too. Like, you can't really plead ignorance. But I get it. You're French. You need that cigarette.
That's right.
You need it lit now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of wild they're even prosecuting this because it's, it's against French values, but it's also kind of the most French thing that's ever happened. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
One day they'll make a statue of this guy with another another permanent flame.
Yes.
But it's just him holding a lighter
Tomb
for
of
anyone in need.
The Tomb of the Unknown Smoker.
Yeah. And he's there when you need him. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a little light coming out of his.
It's permanent.
That's a great idea. Actually.
Yeah. It's a cigarette that's permanently lit, so you can just do the thing where you put it up against it and light it.
I think France. You can have that one.
Yeah. You're welcome. Also, you can be holding a baguette and, some other stuff. A striped shirt.
All the same. All the stuff.
Beret.
All the things you do.
Riding a bicyclette.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bicycle with one big wheel and one little wheel.
The penny farthing.
That's right. That's what they ride there.
Yeah.
Single women are using Hinge to get their furniture built by matches for free. It felt like getting the boyfriend experience on a first date. I think this is great.
Yeah, it's like Angie's List or whatever. You get
because like,
it's a fun first date activity. It's a group effort.
Yeah, you're not spending money, and I think like putting furniture together is a really great way to get like a sense of another person. First of all, you want to know if they're fucking stupid.
Yeah,
they can't do it. Second of all, you want to see like how do they act when they get frustrated.
Exactly. Yes, it's a good test.
And it's also, it's always
like you finish the bed frame, we can bone on it.
This is some real it's an opportunity to demonstrate value.
Yeah,
because being handy, a lot of things that go into a relationship, but
and an AI can't fake it yet.
Yeah,
yep.
Clankers can't replace men in this way.
I'd like to see a clanker put this IKEA furniture together.
So I think this is fair, and it's a first date. Obviously, this could be abused by women who are just constantly buying furniture. But I feel like
it is very strange to invite over a stranger to a first date, to your home.
That's another thing, but it sounds like this is mostly New York gals, and they're very liberated in that.
They got a doorman downstairs. It's different.
That's right. I think this is good because how much furniture are you really buying? Maybe a lot. I don't know.
I don't know. He's got to bring it up all those stairs too.
Yeah, and the funniest part, there's just even if it didn't work out, it gives the man a sense of accomplishment, so he feels good about the date regardless.
Yeah, did something today.
Yeah. Put these hands to work.
The notches on that bedpost are for building things.
That's right. Trump burger owner faces deportation after ICE arrest in Houston.
Just another perfect example of this happening.
I didn't think the leopards would eat my face.
Exactly.
So many fucking examples of this in this country of people who were clearly, obviously in Trump's crosshairs, who happily not only voted for him, but made being a Trump supporter a core part of their identity without it ever crossing their mind. They're is he talking about me?
I think that all of them assumed that they would be maybe even awarded, that Trump would decimate their competition in order to award them for being the most MAGA-friendly business that would have been caught in his crosshairs. What he's gonna do is because I'm showing my love for him.
Yeah,
he knows it. And he's going to come in and he's going to wipe out all of my competition and reward me with all the business.
He's going to give me citizenship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like the Latinos for Trump lady, I will vote. That lady, her husband getting like deported, and this Trump burger guy.
A lot of families being separated where like the husbands are just like, wait.
Yeah, well, and the husbands are like, well, I wouldn't change my vote. I still love the president more than I love my bitch.
Yeah, there was a couple where you're like, that person clearly just wanted a very quick and easy divorce, and they used it to their advantage. But there were others that were like, best president ever. I'll get over it. It's really sucks.
How could this have happened?
Yeah, like the Iranian one here in L.A.
Yeah, that one's real upsetting. I feel bad for those kids.
Yeah, and that was awful too because it was just a reaction to Trump bombing Iran and being like, I don't know, any of these Iranians could be sleeper cells.
Yeah, any of these Iranians who like came over specifically because they don't like the
Send them back.
Iranian regime. They need to go back to Iran.
It's crazy.
Stupid. Anyways, that's our show, folks.
Yeah, have a great weekend. And if you haven't seen our other videos, they're going to be popping up in just a second. But remember,
I'm going to do it too now.
We're not even going to turn around anymore. We're just going to let you go and hope that you liked the video. And we're going to see you next week.
I'm not even going to turn my head.
Bye.
Bye.